Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tam Talks Tanks. You can see the egg yolk that I've fed to them, kind of round about here. And if we can get a good zoom in, no, I need a better camera. But as you can see, maybe, that one at the back was the first to hatch. There's a little bit of Java moss in the way, but you know, hey ho. But yeah, just look at the size difference of them. So the egg yolk definitely works. They're growing really quickly. So definitely a good way to feed fish on a budget. But we are, well, you saw that one going to the surface. So I'm slightly concerned about oxygen in the tub. Also, we got another little hatchling. Bladder snail, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let me focus on the baby. Anyway, it's there. So we're gonna take him out and put him in here. And we're also going to poke some holes in this tub to try and get some current going through to kind of introduce more oxygenated water, because the rest of them seem okay. I don't know if it's just kind of regular normal Corridora behaviour, because they do kind of excuse me, they do kind of go up to the surface sometimes to breathe air, which is normal, but I just want to make sure. I don't want anything to go wrong with these guys. So I had to use two hands to get the tub out of the water, because obviously you want to keep it as stable as possible. They did start freaking out a little bit, but it kind of highlighted that they are healthy swimmers, so that's quite nice. We're going to take a sharp sewing needle and just stab some holes. I've decided to use the tiniest little sewing needle and just stab quite a lot, because these guys are tiny when they first hatch, and I don't want them to be able to slip through. So a lot of little holes should be a lot better than a few big holes. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this with one hand. It might leak a little bit, but that's okay. I've got my trusty placemat. I am a bit of a floor dweller. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, am I? Okay, 2 ticks. Okay, so now I've poked 4 holes in each side. I had to actually heat up the needle because it turns out the plastic is quite hard. I'm going to change the water, and I'm also going to suck up a bunch of this waste. And I used to use a piece of airline tubing for this, but I found that the little fish got sucked up. So instead, I'm just going to use a pipette dropper, because it's a lot more precise. I might end up sucking up some food, so I'm going to feed them again after this. And then I just dump it into the big tank, because the big tank has filtration that's meant to cover this. It is easier to look at it from the top, I find. Sorry if I missed that, but you should be able to see there's a fair amount of gunk in here. If I put it under the water, yeah, and that's all going to get caught up by the filter, so that's absolutely fine. It's meant to deal with fish waste with some water changes in mind. Sorry if I'm missing this. I do actually have to look not through the camera, but through my eyes, I guess. because my camera's rubbish and I need to be able to see. So, yeah, I'm sorry if you can't. I am a one-man band. A one-woman band. But yeah, just sucking out the debris with this, and then once most of the crap from the bottom is picked up, then I'll take the time. It does take a while to change the water. I'll take out the water with this, and then I push down on the tub to let the water from the tank flow in. Let's see if I can actually get this on camera. The duckweed's great, but it does impede the view a little bit. Oh, I've just scared a little fish, but he's a good swimmer, so that's good. I would love to be able to start breeding these guys, like, or just breeding fish in general, as sort of more of a mainline job. Because it's a lot of work, you know, undeniably it's a lot of work. These guys need fed so regularly, and they need cleaning so regularly, especially with this sort of setup, because I don't have a filter in here apart from the plants. And you know, the plants are great, they really are, because I mean that's why Wallstad works, right? But at the same time, I like having the backup of biological filtration, so if one thing doesn't work, the other's got you covered. You know, if your filter craps out and you've not got the biological filtration anymore from the bacteria, at least you've got well, I suppose it's still biological filtration. You've got the filtration of the plants to help you out, because they'll still suck up ammonia, they'll suck up nitrites, and they'll even suck up nitrates. So quite a lot of people don't even do water changes. I do, because I enjoy it, and it's not so much of an issue with a lidded tank, but with the shrimp bowl, if I don't do water changes and I just top up the water, where does the calcium go? The calcium in the water, it just stays there, or not the calcium, the carbonate. It just stays there in the water and it doesn't evaporate. So eventually that water is going to get harder and harder, because I live in Oxfordshire where the water gets a little bit crunchy in the kettle sometimes. So yeah, just scaring some of the baby fish. I'm really sorry guys, but it's got to be done. Look at all that poo. Phew. And once, it doesn't need to all come out. I also am having a quick look to make sure that I'm not scooping up any baby fish by accident and kind of just releasing them to their doom where they're going to get eaten by the adults, because they are monsters who they laid their eggs, and then immediately after laying them they would go down an inch on the glass and go, oh my god, there's so much yummy food, and they would eat their own eggs just straight away after laying them. And the worst part wasn't the fact that they ate their own eggs. The worst part was how excited they got. They are absolute monsters. So they will eat their young. So this is the safest place for them to be. I've had to stop collecting eggs though, because I only have limited space, and I do want to get other fish that aren't just Corydoras. As much as I love them, I want to get some sort of mid-column fish and all that. Anyway, I think that's enough waste out. I'm going to have to refeed these guys because I've probably taken out a bunch of their food. But that is how you take out the crap from the bottom of the tub. And then I just take the time to change out the water, and I won't bore you with this. In fact, it's pretty much done. Yeah, that's pretty much done. And then we can push this down. Introduce a bit more duckweed, lovely. Always welcome here. And yeah, that'll do it. Okay, next thing, getting baby from this tub into here. Okay, I've smooshed a bladder snail because it wouldn't get out the way, and now it's going to be fish food because I'm going to put that guy into the tank. Anyway, you can see we've got baby fish here, and now I think that this is the best way to do it because this water does contain a small amount of methylene blue still, but it's minute. It's like a minuscule amount, especially with the amount of water that we're going to be sucking up along with the fish. This means that the fish doesn't get injured by a net or anything like that. Literally as easy as sucking it up. And these little guys, they're not strong swimmers yet when they're this age. So literally down, push out as little of that water as we can. And there it's done. And now I can do that without acclimating it because it's been at the same temperature in the tank, and also I use tank water for this, and for the methylene blue tub. There's still maybe one more egg that'll hatch if we're lucky. So I'm gonna put this cover back on and hope for the best. Okay, last day for the egg yolk as well. It's going into the bin today, and these guys are going to start getting kind of more fresh egg yolk. But at the moment it's still good. It's just, you know, food has a shelf life. That's a bit much that I put on here. So let's break it up a little bit again. That's a good amount. More of them have started eating, so I fully expect this to only last till about lunchtime, but they'll get fed then as well. So into the tank we go. And again, I'm really sorry if I missed this, but I am a one-man band. I'll try and get it into a spot where you can see it. Let's do the corner here. Yeah. Okay, duckweed, get out the way. But I'm confident that I'm really sorry about this. I'm confident that the baby fish will be able to reach this because they're really good swimmers. So that's absolutely fine. And I'm kind of just massaging it to break it up, you know, pressing down. I did try using my fingers to break it up, but it didn't crumble the way I thought it would. It just kind of made a really dense ball. I don't know if it was because it was slightly wet from the condensation or anything like that. But I think that smooshing it while it's in the water like this is the best way to do it. That I've found. This works for me. You know, you find what works for you if you're going to do this. I'm really sorry if that wasn't on camera. I would love to get something that would strap to my head, like a GoPro or something like that. Also, because I'm kind of like right next to the camera right now, my face is right next to the camera so that I can see what I'm doing. I don't know how the volume is going to work out. I hope it's not too jarring. Okay, well, that's the best we're going to get for now while it's on camera, because I need to be able to hold the tub, otherwise it just moves and I can't really get the force down. But you get the idea, at least. You get the idea of what we're doing here, and that's kind of the most important thing. Now you can see why we use something that we can clean easily and wipe down. I could sit at a table, but I actually prefer being on the floor. I always did my homework on the floor when I was at school. The old smoosharoo. It works so well. Pick it up by pressing down with your finger. Literally just one tablet. And this is kind of to get your fingers underneath the water so it doesn't all hang out at the surface, and just spread it around. And that's just to kind of just to have food scattered around that they can graze on through the day. And that is that. And they'll well, they're all hiding at the moment because I've been doing stuff. But you can see a few of them. And that is the daily routine, the daily morning routine of looking after and growing out my Corydoras fry. Soon they will go into the bigger tank. Sponge filter is kind of getting ready in the big tank. It's soaking up and growing up all that beneficial bacteria. There's not a lot of plant life in here. There's some, but it's mostly plants that don't need a lot of light, because I'm hoping that the light from this tank will kind of spill out onto this one enough, because I don't want to stress out the fry with too much light. And also, I'm on a budget. You gotta do what you gotta do. This was a free find off of Facebook. And the rest of it, the stones are from the garden, and the driftwood was left over from that scape. The sand was left over, the bits of gravel, you know, for a bit of different texture. That was left over. The heater was only £15, something like that. So very much on a budget. But that's fine, because it's all the better, because it means that I can show you guys what I do to make it work while you don't have a lot of cash flow going. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope it's been kind of informative and instructive, and I hope that you have as much success as I'm having with this sort of setup. If you find it useful, please let me know. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I actually sound like a YouTuber now. But yeah, just any feedback on what you like, what you don't like about the video. It's all good. Thanks very much for watching.